Cornwallis took a shot. The defenseman fell over, the Afghan. And the Cornwallis has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild stab for it and fell. Here's another shot. Right by the score. Henderson!
Love it. That moment, of course, forever etched in Canadian memory. Paul Henderson, always a pleasure to see him joining us. Member of Team Canada 72 Summit Series. Of course, a former NHL player joining us again because he's on a great national tour.
Hello.
How are you, Paul?
Good to be back.
Nice to see you. Tell us about this tour, first of all, and what you're doing. This is really cool.
Having a great time. Mitch Goldhart, who owns Smart Centers, bought the sweater, and he thought Canadians need to experience this. And so we put it together. He's got a 48-foot semi with double wides on it, so it's 30 feet wide. All kinds of memorabilia, videos, and so we've been touring the country and just having a great time with the
How amazing is it to you? Since 72, I mean, this moment in hockey is still so special to people.
Yeah, is it ever?
Well, it just, something happens just to bring it back. Of course, selling the sweater when it's sold for $1.27 million.
Yeah, that brought it back to people.
Does give you a little bit of a
Can I just actually ask what that was like for you? Because that's got to be strange. I mean, something that you wore and then
it was bizarre. My grandchildren said, "How could you be so stupid to give it away?"
That's right.
So I told them, "Listen, 6 concussions."
Because Paul, you're a fairly savvy businessman. I mean, this is probably one of the worst business moves you ever made, giving the sweater
Well, you
away.
know, in &72, there was no market for memorabilia at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean,
And
Joe
who knew?
Sproul was a trainer, and he was a Toronto Maple Leafs trainer, and he did a good job for me, always took care of me, and then he was with Team Canada, and so who better to give it to than Joe?
Now, we wanted to
nice
talk
thing.
to you a little bit about the Canucks. They, of course, won the President, I'm not going to call it the President's Choice Trophy in your hair, the President's Trophy last night with their big game. What is it like for you to watch a team do so well like this, and what advice would you have to a team like the Canucks?
Well, first of all, I'm very pro-Canadian. Like we got to win the Stanley Cup.
would
Bring
be
it back.
so
Like
nice
it's
to
so
bring it back
irritating
here.
for me.
Yeah.
And so everybody in Toronto was now looking at Vancouver. We're all cheering for Vancouver. Not all of us, but
I
many.
don't believe that, Paul.
Well, there's
many
a
of
few
us-
Leafs fans that
many
are
of
not
us,
cheering
yeah,
for us,
well,
but...
there are a lot of Canadians that are just, this is our year, and so proud of them. I mean, they're so skilled.
Well, and how hard is it? I mean, as a guy who played in the NHL for so many years, and you got close a couple times to the Stanley Cup, how hard is it to actually win that trophy? It's got to be one of the toughest things in sport, I would
There's no
think.
question about it. There's no question about it. And when you get it, like if I was going to speak to them, I would say to them, like I lost it in the 7th game of my first year in the NHL.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I still haven't recovered from that.
Yeah.
And so don't ever leave anything out there at any time, especially now you got a few games to relax a little bit, but boy, when they drop that puck, and especially the first round too.
Yeah.
What is the psychological pressure like when you get into the playoffs for players like
Well,
this?
I think it's everybody wants to prove that you can play the game. Now you know it's coast to coast, and so it doesn't take you much to get up there. But in reality, you know whether you have a chance or not. And I think that, you know, I mean, people will be so disappointed if they don't win.
I'm so
this
superstitious
Well,
about it, I feel bad even talking
But these are all things that you're so familiar with. I mean, when you guys went over to Russia in the 72 series and you're down games, you're going into their country, their state, like everything. Did you guys feel that kind of pressure? I mean,
pressure? Are you kidding me? I mean, fear is a wonderful motivator, and you know, we lose the first game, and I remember saying to my wife, if we don't win the next 3 games, we're going to be known as losers for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And so you talk, and this is a true story. Cornwallis and I were having a cup of tea about 5 o'clock the afternoon of the last game. There was white caps in my tea.
just shake, shake.
And you know, the funny part about it, I didn't enjoy it. Like, I mean, it was so intense, it was like war, and I forgot to enjoy it. And that's one, I tell you what, I learned a lot from that. Enjoy every day. Thank goodness, because I didn't enjoy any of that at all, because there was such pressure on us to win, and we want, you know, I mean, anyway.
Well, and then you come back and you go right into, you know, playing again.
I never got a chance to celebrate it. That was the irritating part about it. Never really got to celebrate. So, for the last 39 years.
You've been celebrating?
I've been celebrating.
So what was it like for you watching Team Canada in the gold medal game? Did you feel
From
their
your
pressure?
perspective, yeah.
Oh, sure. Well, you know, I mean, you're sitting there living and dying, and it looks like, well, we're going to win it. This is going to be fabulous. And then that Parisi, I could have choked him. and then I couldn't. Ellen and I were over in Vancouver or in Victoria doing a marriage conference. And so we had to give another talk, and so we didn't even see the overtime. And so I told, well, we had about 70 couples out there, and I said, listen, if the United States, if you got a radio on and the United States scored, don't say a word. But if Canada scores, just yell it out. Well, lady jumped up, Canada scores, Crosby scored, and we went nuts. And I led the singing of "O Canada."
And you have a beautiful singing voice, Paul.
Man, my wife said,
Like
"You ever do
angels."
that again?" Only time.
But didn't that happen to you with the national anthem in '72? Wasn't there a spontaneous outbreak of people singing it? A bunch of drunk people?
Well, everybody was over there if you're Canadian.
If you were there,
You gotta do it.
They did have a good time, but I tell you what, you never challenge the Russians when it comes to drinking vodka. You're going to lose.
Yeah, you might win on the ice, you're not going to win off. What's it been like for you? I mean, obviously, you know, throughout your life, you've had this opportunity to connect with people based on this moment that, you know, you were obviously the integral part of. What's this been like on this tour? I mean, because generations are changing and you know, fans are getting younger, your fans are getting older. What's it been like for
Well,
you?
a lot of kids coming in, and you know, they say, now I understand why my dad was so excited about this. They see it. But you get new stories all the time, and some of them are just fabulous stories. One place, a guy came in, he said, Paul, I just got to tell you, my dad and I never got along well. We just weren't connected at all. But '72 came along, both of us got into the series. And he said, we watched those games together. And when you scored that last goal, my dad and I just hugged, and we started a whole new relationship. And he said, and this guy was tears in his eyes. He was, you know, probably 60. I just had to come out and tell you, you know, how much that meant to me. Well, you hear stories like this, and of course my wife has been traveling with me too, and women tell her all kinds of stories. It's just,
That's
it's
amazing.
it's fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just, and it sparked it again. And Canadians are so passionate about that. It's amazing. And
well, it's part of, I mean, when you talk about that father and son moment, I mean, for a lot of Canadian families, I know for my dad and I, that's part of what the game of hockey is for me. It's obviously a beautiful sport and I love watching it, but it's also something that in my mind is associated with those bonding moments with my dad and with my brother, with my uncles.
Well, like I've said before, in fact, we're just bringing out a book. It's called How Hockey Defines Canada. And Jim Prime and I are putting this together. And that's the thing about hockey. Yeah, we need the arts, dancing and ballet, but they will never bring the country together. I mean, they're wonderful. I enjoy them, but hockey is the one
something
thing.
special for
it's
us.
something special.
Yeah.
And especially this year when Vancouver, anytime a Canadian team's got a chance to win the Stanley Cup, I believe from coast to coast.
I gotta knock on wood, Paul.
That's right.
Well, no, but that brings us together.
It's so true.
And especially, you know, when Edmonton and Calgary, I mean, even, man, the intensity of that was incredible. So, and that's, you know, that's
part
what,
of it.
It's all
That's
part
what
and
it is.
parcel. And fathers taking their sons to the games. It's just
And
a wonderful.
daughters. That's what me and my dad used to do,
Fathers
too.
taking their families to go and be part of this as well and understand a moment in Canadian history that will stand the test of time forever. The Henderson Jersey Tour is at Surrey Sport and Leisure Centre, April 1st, 4 to 8 p.m. Then on April 2nd at Rogers Arena, North Plaza.
Paul's got a
Opens at
call
4
coming in.
p.m. And at Maple Ridge at Planet Ice, April 3rd at noon to 4 p.m. We're going to take a break. Paul, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is that your phone?
It is
No,
his phone.
no.
Is that your phone, Henderson? Come here!
It's hockey calling. We're going to take a break. And